Hey, this is Retired Geek Woman with Adventures with Rhiannon, Stardew Valley 1.5, episode number 49. And we're going to take off right where we left off, which is day 20 of Fallen Year number 2. And we just had over 106,000, almost 107,000 gold. And I was very happy to see that. That puts us in a really good place for a lot of reasons. I think it's really interesting that Harvey keeps coming up here to the children's room. It's like that's his new thing. It's really fascinating to me and fun. So, first off, a disclaimer here while we're kind of doing our morning chores. A while back, I posted a video that was talking about my furry kids that we lost. We had two 13-year-old long-hair Siamese brothers. They were litter mates, and it was so hard to lose them and devastating for both my husband and I. And so there's a lot of my videos that probably my voice sounds very flat. And so I did a video to explain what was going on and why. That's just part of life, you know. And I've had many people give me some wonderful comments. And one person said, how blessed are we to have loved an animal enough to mourn their loss? And that was very true for us. So I wanted to mention that. My next disclaimer has to do with what has happened since then. And our house was way too quiet. And so we got two kittens, and oh my heavens, it's been a very long time since we've had kittens in the house, and it's really quite an adventure. And they are going to be noisy. We have recliners, so we were afraid we were going to hurt them, electric recliners. So we have put bells on them to find out where they are, and it hardly works at all. The bells aren't loud enough. So it's like, oh my gosh, they're everywhere all the time, and they are just now getting used to each other. We got them about a week apart, and so they love to play and romp and do things they shouldn't, and sometimes they get into it a little bit too much, and you can hear hissing and growling. So I'm going to do my best to keep that out of my recording. So if you hear anything, I'm sorry. We're just trying to make do with our new family and our current activities. So anyway, there'll be pictures of these guys soon. I'll do some community posts of them, and do check that community tab regularly. I do make announcements there, and you know, if there's going to be a schedule change, or if I'm thinking about new games, or I do posts with polls because I want your opinion. So check that out. That's the community tab on my main Facebook page. On my about section, you put my schedule of my uploads, when everything is going to upload, and if I'm going to change something, I put it there as well. So anyway, check those two out. I appreciate that. And while I'm talking about this kind of thing, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. It makes YouTube like me better, and it lets me know that I'm doing something that other people find valuable. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll continue to watch to the very end of each episode. So we are on the 20th of the fall season in Stardew Valley, and we have 8 days left in the fall season. And I had set some goals for myself to have completed by the end of the year, and I am close to reaching all of those goals already. So I'm very excited about that things are going along pretty well here and pretty quickly. I'm not a power gamer. That's another disclaimer for y'all. I am a retired person. I take life so much slower, and I have always been a relatively slow gamer, meaning I don't power game, I don't min-max or any of those things like that. Instead, my gaming life is more and more reflecting my real life. I just enjoy myself. I do whatever I enjoy in the game. I'm less and less liking games that have fighting in them. And I've done a lot of fighting in games, but to be honest with you, I've been horrible at it. My entire life, I've been horrible at it. So it's just been the way that it is. Been my whole life. And prior to some of these games coming out, it's like, you know, I think when I played something on the Intellivision, I don't remember what it was, but I played Legend of Zelda. Well, you had to fight. Okay, let's go ahead and change our direction here. We were given a special thing to be able to go in this cave. It's like, okay, what is in this cave? I have no idea. Okay. I mean, to tell you, it has been a very, very many years since I have been in here. And I only did it once, so I'm not going to remember that. Human. Henchman. Okay. Henchman. You want to pass. I'm sorry. This is private property. Well, we know that. I'm so sorry, but I can't let you pass. I'd lose my job. Okay, so we're not going to get anywhere with this guy. So I was like, okay, I was all prepared. I had some food just in case we had to do a battle. I had my wonderful galaxy sword. Nothing. Okay. So we came all this way. So we're going to have to figure out something. We have to figure out something to do. I don't know what that is. Again, I just want to reiterate, there's some things that I remember from when I first played this game, which was, oh gosh, I think it was 2016. It might have been 2017. It came out in 2016. I know my son, when he recommended it to me, didn't mention that it just came out or something. So I think it's been almost that long since I played it, at least as far as my failing memory tells me. So I've only done that part that, I started a game and then I ended up restarting, and that's my 11-year save that I have. So however long ago that was. So there's so many things I don't remember, and this was one of those things. I didn't remember what happened. I tried to be prepared. I brought some fruit. I brought my sword, all just in case. So anyway, we'll figure that out. In the meantime, I thought, well, let's just do a little bit of resource gathering while we're here. These are all things that we need. Again, this is another place to get resources: stone, wood, a little bit of fiber sometimes. So there's various places in the game where you can get those things. And I heard someone on the forum say something about that wood was really hard to come by, and I'm thinking, okay, not in my game. I've gotten a little bit low on wood, but that's only because I hadn't been out gathering resources. It's everywhere. So I don't know. I thought it was an interesting comment. I didn't question what they said. I just thought, this doesn't seem to be the case for me, but maybe they're using way more for some reason. So I don't know what their reason would be. It does take a lot of wood and resources in the game in general. But so anyway, I thought it was an interesting comment, but that's not been my experience. I can run around and look at all this fiber. And fiber is going to be a huge resource that we need, but we have a way of getting tons of it, and we'll see that later on, not too distant future. If this is the first episode that you've watched of mine, you will please take note that I do my best to not give any huge spoilers before they show up in the game. Let's look at this real quick. Perhaps I should seek out more information on goblins. Well, okay, that's kind of vague. So I don't know where I would find that out. So anyway, I wanted to talk about the disclaimers or the spoilers and things. You're going to see them in the game, but I try not to talk about them ahead of time if I can help it. I may give hints about things, like our next house upgrade is going to be wonderful. It's going to do something really big for us, but I'm not going to tell you what that is. You'll see it when it comes. So, that's how someone was like, what, you're not going to tell me? No, I'm not going to tell you. I want you to experience it at the time that it happens, which is totally different than having somebody tell you about something that's going to happen. So that's why I do it that way. And I hope that's okay with you. But if it's not, it doesn't matter. It's my video. I can do what I want. That I'm just explaining to you guys, new people that have come, how I work. And again, you're new to this, and I'm just kind of talking about myself and how I do things. This is Krobus. I thought maybe we could ask Krobus about how to get in there, and he didn't have any goblins, or I guess what we're looking for. He had no help for us. It's like, okay, well, thanks for nothing, Krobus. So I have no idea at this point. I really don't have any idea how to get in there, and so I have two different options of how to go about doing that. I can try to figure it out and work on it, or I can go to the wiki, which there is a fantastic wiki for Stardew Valley. It's linked in my descriptions, so you can go there if you want to go there and look at the various links that are there. That wiki will tell you pretty much everything you need to know about everything, and I do mean that. It's probably one of the most thorough and best wikis that I've seen. Oh my gosh, we cannot get lobsters for some reason. It's one of the best I've ever seen. So if I had gone here and looked up whatever that's called, the Witch's Cave or something, I don't remember what it's called. If we go look that up, it'll tell us exactly how we can get in there and then what to expect in there too. So some things I will try to figure out. I'm not kind of a person that wants to figure out puzzles particularly. I never have been, ever. How I finished Legend of Zelda without a wiki, I have absolutely no idea. I will say it took me many hours that I didn't have, because at the time I was playing that game, I was actually married with 2 small children, and I had a full-time job. So I have no idea how I was able to complete that game, but I did. That was one of the first, I guess it's really one of the first games that I actually played. Like I said in many times before, many episodes before, I had played in television, so you should look that up for something, for a laugh. And I don't remember anything that I played on it. I think it was very, very little. I was very busy having kids and working full-time job, and our beloved mama. I had to check that one because there was the wiggly wormy thingies were there, otherwise known as artifact spots. I thought, what did that say? I think there's some stories behind those, but I don't know what they are. So anyways, I don't know how I did that. I got into gaming big time in my early 30s. And so anyway, back to our story. So we really got nowhere with this so far. It's 6:20 p.m. and our big adventure didn't happen. All we did was learn that we don't know how to get in there. Oh, looky here, looky here, looky here. I don't want to chop things down. Oak resin, oak resin, oak resin. This is fantastic. This is what we need to be able to make kegs that we are going to put in our keg shed. And so I went over to see if there's one more down below, wasn't ready yet. So we got 3 more. That's fantastic. The more we can have before winter hits, because I guess they call it winter season. When that hits, all the trees go dormant, and so I'm not going to be able to get any more oak resin. And the more that we have, the more kegs that we have, the more money that we'll make with each bout. So I'm trying to make sure that I have. That's one reason why I was going for more wood, because look how much we're using here. It's 30 per, so we have over 400 wood, but still don't want to get too low. So the more we have, the more money we're going to make each time. So I am trying to get as many kegs as we can, and the oak resin is the stopper on that one, because we're not going to get much more before the end of the season. I don't know how much more, but we're going to get as many as we can. So I'm very excited when I saw that. It's like, yes, I'm so excited. Okay, so let's go put these kegs in here and see how many that brings us to. And that's 3 more, so that means 15 inside, 1 more outside, so 16 kegs will be cranking away. And you can see I left them empty, and that's on purpose, because there's a keg outside that is, as you can see it pulsating. When it's done, it tells me all the kegs inside are ready to go as well. So I put the same thing in them, and I wait for them all to pop at the same time. So that way I'm not having to run in there every day and see if there's something ready. No need. And that's not my own idea. I saw that on, again, the forums are a wonderful place. There's a link down below to that. I saw that on the forums, has a wonderful place that you can showcase your farms. And I had seen someone had done that, and I thought, wow, what a brilliant idea. That way, that's a time saver, and it looks really cool. So that's why I decided to go for it. And it's been a wonderful time saver. And interestingly, I've seen there's some new people that have been on the forums lately, and someone commented was talking about that, and someone was like, wow, what a brilliant idea. I'm going to do that too. They apparently had not seen what I had, which is some place on the showcase. And the showcase is a great place if you're like me and you are not super what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not artistic, that's for sure. I'm not overly creative. So if you're that kind of person, and my farm would be a mess otherwise, the showcase is a wonderful place to go look at other people's farms and to get ideas. And all of my farm, that when this ends up all completed, it's a compilation. Please don't fall in the water. Oh, it did. Did you see that? There was no way around it. It's a compilation of many different farms. I went, oh, I like this of this and I like this of that. That's how I end up with the look that I'll have. If you're wanting to see what we're shooting for, or kind of the way we're going to go with that, you can go into my playlist and check out the reviews and overview section. I did a review and overview of Stardew Valley, and in that review is a screenshot of the I think there's both inside and outside, at least the outside of my 11-year farm, and you can see the layout that I did, and I believe this one will be very similar to that. And as for my new viewers, also my goals here, I intend to do 100% completion is my plan. I had not done that with my 11-year farm, and I decided to stop playing that one and play this one instead, so I can share this incredible game with you. And so that's why we are going to be going there. And I just realized I need more steps on that one place. It's really embarrassing to go back and look at your play after the fact. I think if you had done that for yourself, you would be going, oh my gosh, I missed these 1,000 things. And that's exactly the case with me. I missed so many things, like putting stone steps up to the door of this particular shed. So I'm going to have to try to make a mental note, or actual physical note. I do keep track of things that I'm doing, my goals. I keep track of all kinds of things depending upon the game, and I use Microsoft OneNote, and that is an unpaid suggestion, unpaid advertisement for Microsoft OneNote. I've used it for many years for many different things. I use it in my real life, of course, to keep track of groceries and tasks and things I need to do, but I also use it for games if a game warrants it. So many games have very thorough journals and things like that can help you keep track of what you're doing and all that kind of thing. But sometimes, even with decent journals, you need something extra, and that's what I use Microsoft OneNote for. So for this game and for this playthrough, I've been keeping a list of the tasks and things that I want to complete within a certain period of time. And so I do have goals of things in kind of an order that I want to do them. So we're on the 21st day of fall, and we have 108,000 in the bank here. So we're doing super good on our monies. And our next big expenditure is going to be another upgrade on our farmhouse, which is not really part of my must do for the end of the first year or second year, but it's going to happen because I have the gold, and that's my next big expenditure. I wanted to get these 3 sheds built. I wanted to get 2 silos built, and I wanted to do the upgrade that we just did on the farmhouse was one of those things, but the next one's just going to happen because that's the next thing that I want to spend money on. So awesome for us. And that's going to be a huge game changer. So yeah, again, I'm checking all the animals and giving them a little click on there, giving them a little love, and all of this makes them love you more. And the more they love you with full hearts, which you can't really, I guess you can see if you double click on one of them, if they do that, then if they do love you with full hearts, you have a better possibility of getting a iridium quality product from them. So as you can see, the milk I got from Clara was iridium quality. And that all happens because of the relationship that you have with your animals. And there's a number of things that you can do to get those relationships up. As you can see, there's a 5-star relationship with our goat. Petting them is one way, and feeding them is another way. And feeding them outside with fresh grass is another way that increases those relationships. So we just got 3 dinosaur mayonnaise, and so that is fantabulous. Of all of the eggs that we have here, the dinosaur eggs are the ones that give us the most money. You can see that I just pulled out a void egg, and we got a I wanted to double check. I don't know why I did that. I wanted to double check the price of them. The dinosaur mayonnaise gives us the most, absolutely the most. I believe the duck is the second. Oh, look at this. We have an ancient fruit. This is fantastic news. We have ancient fruit. Ancient fruit is the second highest value fruit that you can have. And processing those things, oh my gosh, it makes so much money. I'm saving them up for a particular reason. So when we get to a certain amount, we are going to turn them into seeds, and then we are going to plant them. So the more we get, oh my gosh, it just grows exponentially. And then we're going to do something special with them later. As you can see, I'm starting to save my cheeses now, and I'm going to start saving wines too for something special. So I'm excited about that. No, I'm not going to tell you. We went to the abandoned Joja Mart, and as you see that it had 6 or 5 required items out of the 6 that they show, and it's very interesting. I have no idea what happens if you hit that achievement. I mean, zero memory of that. I'm sure that I did it. I just don't remember at all what it is, what happens. So we will experience that together. I think I've got 3 of the 5 items needed, so we'll work on the rest of them. So we'll see. It's going to be very interesting. You know, it's when I play games and I have no idea what happens. To me, it's exciting, and it's very tempting for me. I've always done this after Legends of Zelda. Whenever the internet really exploded, and you can find out just about anything about anything. I fell into the habit or trap of looking at everything, finding out about everything. So that was kind of a bad habit that I got into, and I continued it. And it got even worse when I started playing the Elder Scrolls series, or better, I don't know. They had Prima guides that you could buy that really helped you out along your way. And if I didn't have the Prima guides, I probably wouldn't have played those games. And aging myself now, I started with Daggerfall, I think a year or so after it came out. And so I got the Prima guide for it, and I have every Prima guide for all of the Elder Scrolls games one by one. So again, I'm sorry with all the noise you're hearing in the background. Those are my kitties, and they are under my bed climbing around on space bags, making the worst noise possible. So I'm so sorry. But I'm not going to go back and re-record every single little noise they make to remove it. I'll try to minimize it, but the little stink pots, you'll see pictures soon. What I'm doing, I've got that battery for Pam because I had forgotten about that. But I'm also working on the relationships with 2 more people to get them to level 8 hearts or above, as Vincent and Kent. And Vincent loves grapes and Kent loves eggs. So those are 2 easy peasy ones to give them loved gifts. And look what I just did. I gave her a grape. Now, I have full hearts with Pam, I believe, and that was a completely unnecessary accident. I've talked about that in a previous episode, how I give away, look at that. She gave me 400 for a battery. That it was so frustrating when you give the wrong gifts to the wrong people, and I really wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I gave her a grape. It's like, oh my gosh, now I gotta go back and get another grape to give Vincent. So it really does pay to triple check to what you're doing, who you're seeing, what they want, to make sure it's the right person. It's so silly, because I don't have a whole lot of extra grapes. Because I believe that's a forgeable item. I do believe that we can grow them, but at this point, I think we can grow them. The only ones I have have been forged, and there haven't been very many, so I don't have a whole lot to spare ones, and I really want to give one to Vincent. So we took one, and off we go to see Kent and Vincent. And as luck would have it, they live in the same house. So Kent is Vincent's father. And if you haven't seen previous episodes, Kent was a soldier. He comes home and he's got PTSD, so it's a whole story thing with him. And a lot of these characters have some pretty interesting stories. Some of them are pretty dark. You know, it's like if kids play this game, they probably wouldn't catch a lot of the things that are dark. Vincent does talk about, he talked about missing his dad, and there we go, 8 hearts, perfect. That's what I was looking for. He talked about missing his dad, and then he said in further conversations, he talks about how his dad isn't the same as he was before he went away. So, you know, it's got some pieces of that. We had seen in a previous episode, Mayor Lewis and Marnie are having a thing going on, and they talk about it and how, you know, he doesn't want people to know, and Marnie wants a sea cucumber. Speaking of Marnie, okay, we'll give her a sea cucumber. That's fantabulous. Easy peasy. I love the easy peasy ones. Uh-oh, Abigail. It's Abigail. Run. It's our nemesis, Abigail. She's at the very, very, very bottom of our friend list because I kept giving her the wrong gifts that she hated. So, oh my gosh. I think we have 1 heart with Abigail. So anyway, what the thing is I'm looking is for Kent is where I'm headed. I don't know for sure where he's at. They do, all of these characters have schedules, and they might be something really minor, like goes and stands under the tree by the lake, and you know, at certain 3 hours a day or whatever the case may be. So they're not, you know, some like Clint. He's going to be here working at whatever days he's open, and I don't know where he goes otherwise. I don't know where he lives or anything like that. Some of them go to the bar, like Pam hangs out at the bar pretty much every night until it closes. So they've all got schedules. And so if I'm looking for somebody, I can make some semi-educated guesses. So I know that Sam is usually standing under that tree by his house, that other tree that we just passed. Or he's, you know, he should be in his, I don't know where he's at. He should be in his house. So I don't know where he is. But I'm looking at his normal haunts where he hangs out. I had gone into the Pierre's store because Kent is in there sometimes. So I was like, all right, where the heck is he? So I'm looking around for him because I really want to give him this egg. So sometimes, there he is. Sometimes you miss them. Like he might have gone in there while I was looking for him at the museum. Sometimes he's at the museum. So again, double check. Yep. And double check. And Kent is now 8 hearts. So I have now achieved my goal of having at least 10 people with 8 hearts. So that was a goal that I wanted to have by the end of year 2, and we are way ahead of schedule. So I think Linus makes that 10th person. So we can start working on these other people. We've got Willie here, who is our next person in line. I kind of go in orders, like, okay, I only need 2 more hearts with him, 4 to make full relationship, and you don't lose relationship points with anybody except your spouse. So I want to keep working on all of them. Eventually, everybody will be our best friend as we beat. Interesting. So everyone will be our best friend eventually. It just takes a little time. It takes talking with people. It takes giving gifts. If you can hit their birthday with a loved gift, oh my, do your hearts ever jump? I think you get 2 hearts. Don't hold me to that. I'd have to double check the wiki to see if I'm correct about that. I know you get a lot of points. It's the most points you can get in any one instance is giving a person a loved gift on their birthday, which is why that's so important and why I've done so horrible about that. And especially because I had this goal of 8 hearts with 10 people. What am I doing? Oh yeah, Marnie. I wonder if I can get to Marnie in time. Run, run! Run is a default in the game, as you can see. You can go slower, but I think I'd rather run. You can also get a horse if you want to go faster. I do not like the horse in the game. It's like you jump off of it somewhere and where's the horse? Oh, it's a pain. I don't like it. A lot of people love it. I tried it out. I didn't care for it. So I don't use the horse in the game. And the other way you can walk fast is if you drink coffee or espresso. And so I don't. Some people I've watched playthroughs where they don't take a step without having espresso and coffee because they move faster. So first off, don't tell anybody I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't drink coffee. I drink tea in real life. So to me, it's something it never occurred to me to constantly be drinking coffee so that I'm walking faster. It never occurred to me. So anyway, I don't. And so that's the way I play. It's like, okay, I'm walking fast enough. I don't need to be constantly drinking coffee. Oh, please let me make it in time to see Marnie. And we're in her house, but she's closed. I think she just closed. I'm pretty sure. Hey, brought you something. Yeah, it's a purple one too. Is that the sea cucumber? Yes, it is. So she gave us $225 for a medium quality sea cucumber. So awesome. And again, doing things like that does help your relationship with people, doing quests for them, little tasks like that. I don't know how much. I don't know the point system. If you're interested in that, there are mods out there that can tell you exactly how many points you are away from your next level with somebody. It's not of interest to me. I'm not that concerned about it. I don't have any mods installed on my game. The vanilla experience is just fantastic, and that's what I wanted to share with you. I am kind of a anti-mod person anyway. I have seen mods absolutely trash games, and I prefer not to play with them if at all possible. And I've talked a lot about this with my other game that I have been streaming but have paused it, which is Skyrim. And there were absolutely 3 mods that I had to put on for various reasons. You can go watch part of that series if you want to see, because I talk about it pretty much every episode. But I don't like having mods. I like to experience the games as they were made to be experienced. So I've seen some beautiful mods with Stardew Valley that create really beautiful farms, and they do all kinds of things. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in playing the game as it was designed, and I'm perfectly fine with it. And so here we are. What you saw me do right there is we had gotten bug meat. So I went ahead and made my bait, and my rod, I accidentally took off there we are. You can take bait off your hook, by the way, so you can replace it with other kinds. And so that you can, that's nice. You can take it off. Like if I had had my fishing rod with me when I go down to check those lobster pots down there by Willie's shop, I could have taken my rod and taken the bait off of it, but I always forget. And so I try to get down to that area before Willie closes his shop. So that is I'm like, what have I forgotten? It's like, I need slime. I'm trying to make a bobber is what I'm trying to do, and I'm doing a terrible job. Actually, I'm making 2 bobbers. I'm saying bobbers. Listen, I need more caffeine this morning. Corks. I guess it is a cork bobber. So I'm trying to say, excuse me for being a dodo head. Those are my favorite. It makes the green bar bigger for catching fish and makes it a little easier. Oh, it's me a lot easier. It makes it so that I don't hate fishing as much. In the beginning of this series, my poor subscribers who have been watching have heard me complain so much about fishing. They're probably like, shut up already. We know that you hate fishing. And I'm not the only one. A lot of people don't like fishing in Stardew Valley, and there's various reasons for that. I think it's too difficult in the beginning, but as you go on, you will find ways to make it easier for yourself. So in my case, doing bait and cork bobbers made it so much easier. So anyway, that's what I was doing, was reloading my fishing rods, since I was trying to think. What I was doing was thinking, what do I want to do? What is it that I'm wanting to do right now? So we're going to go find out. So anyway, sometimes when I'm thinking about what is it that I want to do next, if I don't have a clear picture in my mind, because usually I make a list of things that I want to do that day, at least a mental list. That's a joke, right? But sometimes I'll be thinking, okay, what is it that I plan to do? And while I'm doing that, I'll do something else. Like in that case, I wanted to make some extra cork bobbers. So that's what I did. So now we are going to go down to level 40 of the mine. Level 40, and for the next, I don't know, maybe 10 floors, you're going to get a lot of iron ore. And so when I'm looking at my supply and saying, okay, I'm getting a little bit low on any particular ore, this is where I'm going to come to get some, you know. It's our level as far as our equipment, my galaxy sword, my pretty ugly purple boots. No offense to people that love purple, but I'm not into purple boots. So I've got pretty decent equipment on that helped me survive this mine pretty well. It wouldn't, the Skull Cavern, I would need something a little bit better, and we'll get there, but for what we need, look at all this beautiful ore here. So right now we've already got 2, and we're getting ready to get a whole bunch more. That was 4 with 1 hit. That's fantastic. That's 3 more. And how much is this one going to have? 3 more. So already we've got 12 pieces of iron ore, and really just a few minutes. So it's no problem to come here in the evening times when I'm done with everything else that I need to do, if I'm low on ore, and pick up some. And I'm really working on changing my habits and pattern. I used to always move my mouse and click on an item from the menu bar. But I had been told by a number of people. So anyway, we're going to hash some rocks down here and go find some ore, and it's pretty easy for us to do. One thing I wanted to mention is there's a lot of people who they know that if you take bombs, you can blow the whole area up. I've never been much of a bomb user. It's just, it takes resources to create bombs. What I'm trying to do is get resources. So, oh, look at all this iron ore. Yes, yes, yes. So I don't want to spend the resources to make the bombs. If I look around and I see that there's no nodes of ore of what I'm looking for, like look at all this ore. Oh my gosh, there's tons of it. It just takes 1 hit, no big deal. I'm not in a rush. I'll go ahead and use my beautiful golden pickaxe to get it. So it's no big deal to me. A lot of people, though, they want to blow everything up and to get everything quickly. And so it's okay, I'm not into that. I don't want to spend the time with the resources. Ooh, we got a secret note. Ooh, I like secret notes. When I'm searching for something like ore like this, I like to see how much it's filling my pack, and so I'm leaving it on my top row of my inventory. But, oh, we got a secret note. Oh, look at this. It looks like there's something in right above the railroad tracks in a corner over there. So, ooh, secret notes. I love them, and I haven't followed through with so many of them because I forget. So that's my bad. I shouldn't do that. Okay, maybe we can hit these little spritey things. Oh, get them, get them, get them. Get them, get them, get them. Getting some coal from them, so that's good. We need that. Oh, look at all this ore. My goodness. Fantastic. We're up to 50. So that's fantastic. We need all that. And I decided it's 11:50. We ended up with 50 pieces of ore. And what a dodo head. I could have taken the minecart. I realized when I was about right here, why didn't I take the minecart? No reason that I can think of. So we're going the long way home, which is silly because it's after midnight. I'm one of those people that's one of my rules is I like to go to bed at 10 p.m. And that's just one of my own self-imposed rules. You can stay up until 2 a.m. and then you will collapse if you're so inclined to do that. I am not. It's a role-playing thing for me. I don't like really playing when it's dark. I can't really see the screen very well, even brightening it up. So I just like, and that's when Harvey goes to bed at 10 p.m. So I like to go to bed at 10 p.m. It's just a thing. It's my own thing. You can do whatever you want. That's how I play. And so setting those rules for myself, it just helps me be more immersed in the game and the world that I'm playing, which I really like to do. So now we're coming up. Look at our, as you can see, we're not selling as much stuff, but we're still doing okay. Dinosaur mayo. We got a rabbit's foot for $13.56. Whew, I feel guilty taking a rabbit's foot from the rabbit, but hey, he offered it. So day 22 of fall in year number 2, and let's look at our monies. Ooh, 113,000. Oh wow. So we're not going to be broke totally when we go get our next house upgrade. And I'm still thinking about when that would be. At this point, I haven't decided. I was trying to save up some money so that we aren't so broke after the purchase. So we'll have to see. So we're going to pet our kitty. And I don't know if your kitty's relationship level goes down if you don't pet them anymore. I don't know the answer to that. I do know that for one of the goals that we have for the end of the year is that, my kitties wanting a kiss. I'm sorry. Always got to give them a kiss when they want it. End of the year, you want to make sure that you have the most heart relationships with your farm pet if you have one. And so I know that I hit that level, the whatever it is, the most you can have of a relationship with your pet, because I got a message that said something about your pet is loved, or you love your pet, or something. I can't remember what it was. So I know that I already achieved that. That is something that I need before the end of year number 2 for something. And so I achieved it. I do not know if those relationships go down or they can be hurt. And if anybody knows that, please put it in the comments, because I've never known the answer to that. So I'm just curious about it. But I do love my little kitty there on the farm. And I named it something that I called my kitties all the time. So it was always a nickname that I had for them. So anyway, love kitties. I love dogs too. I had a Yorkie for about 15 years. And at this point in my life, with my health issues that I have, I can't really have a dog, but that's okay. I got kitties. And right now I have 2 new babies. And someday we'll get pictures of them so you can see how sweet they are. How they can help your hearts be healed a little bit. So, sorry, I'm loving on her. I got the most affectionate kitty. She wants to be in my arms. She loves to rub the bottom of my chin with her nose. So it's so adorable. While I've been yammering away, I happened to notice that our star fruits are ready. So we just got 8 star fruits. Is that epic or what? And we had apples. Apples were ready yesterday, and I missed them when I came in to check. You can always tell because I come in the edge of the room and I can see the edge of the apples. So I had 3 ready. So what I want to do to get our supply going is run these through the seed maker, and it will make star fruit seeds. So if you haven't seen the seed makers before, it takes 10 real life seconds to make any seed. So I'm going to run them through. I already had 2. I generally like to, eventually I'll get my seeds in some kind of order. So I always like to leave 1 packet there in the chest. So if I need, whatever, 24, I want to make sure that I have 25 in the chest so I can leave 1 there. That is my OCD organization. That just drives some people crazy, but it's the way that I like to do it. So I'm double checking over here and saying, okay, awesome. I only needed 8, I think. So we're going to go, I think you can only put, I can put 8 around this particular sprinkler. So we are going to eventually get an iridium sprinkler. This one's 8. Iridium sprinklers let you put 24 crops around it. So the ultimate goal is to have all iridium sprinklers. So we're going to grab, we can grab any of these, it doesn't really matter. I was kind of excited about the blackberries because we saw a bear, if you look in a previous episode, who increased the value of the blackberries by 3. So I'm really curious on how much it's going to be worth now. So that's why I popped that in there. And we had, I think it was cranberry jelly, so that's cool. I wanted to check and see. I had 16. So what we're going to be doing with these star fruits is we're going to keep propagating them, and then we're going to start filtering them through our kegs. Star fruits and star fruit wine is the most valuable items. They're the most valuable fruits. They're the most valuable wine. They're the most valuable jellies. So it's star fruit. The downside to star fruit is that you have to replant them all the time, which you may or may not have noticed that the ancient fruit plant that I haven't had to replant that one time, not once. So that's kind of big. That's kind of big. So that's why a lot of people prefer ancient fruits to star fruits, because you don't have to replant them. You can just keep harvesting them over and over and over again. So, and that's fine. What I'll end up doing eventually is my greenhouse. I'll eventually have it so that it will have 3 crops of the ancient fruit, so 3 times 24, and then 24 star fruit spots. So that kind of keeps it going all the time. And we're going to make wines with those items, and it just becomes a huge moneymaker for the farm. So I just love it, love it, love it. So what I wanted to do is a couple things that I wanted to do. First off, remember there's 2 things up here. One is we saw that secret note. Remember the secret note that we saw? See, where are they located? They're under collections and the notes. And the notes are, all the ones that we've collected are right here. And actually we only have one more note that we haven't found yet. So that's kind of cool. So there we are. I wanted to double check my location. Looks like it's going to be up here to the left and by a rock. Yeah, there's a rock in that corner. I bet it's right before there. So I brought all my tools with me. Let's check with the hoe. Oh, well, looky there. Wow, it's loaded with treasure. This is sure to fetch a good price. Fantastic. And it had been a while since I had gotten one of those. So we'll see what we're going to do with it. Now, I did have to do a little bit of wiki work here because I didn't want to figure this out on my own. See that void mayonnaise right there? I read that goblins love void mayonnaise. So the henchman, he says, I'll lose my job. What about this? Sniff, sniff that smell. I can't resist. Give me that. Thanks. And off he goes. And we get to go into the witch's hut. And we got that ink. All right. We found the wizard's lost magic ink. Better return it to him. So I was kind of poking around in here. I thought, this is a really strange place. And I really don't know what all this is. I clicked on this one, Dark Shrine of Memory. The statue stares through you. Huh. So I don't know what it does, and I was kind of like nervous about it. It's like I'm afraid to touch anything. I can eyeglass things. Ooh, a bone covered in bacteria. What is these stuff? Try not to make yeah, I don't know. I don't know what all that was, but I decided, you know what? Let's go. And we end up, that was curious. Look at that. So that took us somewhere. Oh, I remember I saw a book and I thought I should read the book. So I wasn't sure what else I'd missed. I didn't know if I had missed anything in here. I thought, I thought I would come back and double check. But there's this little funny little place right here, and it takes us to another funny little place. Where the heck are we? So look at this thing over here. A Shrine of Illusions. Make an offering to change your appearance for 500. So what I think that is you can change your character's appearance. It's like, okay. Instead, we're going to get... the stairs brought us right up to the wizard. And what does he say? Did you happen to see my ex-wife? No? Well, what about her house? Oh. Do you think she lives alone, or... Oh, wizard. She's a witch. Actually, don't tell me. I don't want to know. Anyway, you must be wondering about your reward here. Okay. What? Ooh, okay. Some kind of book. It's a book of summoning. The arcane potential is immense, but I'll make it simple for you. By using the book, you can summon magic buildings directly to your farm. I think you'll find it useful. Really. Oh, I almost forgot to say, thank you. Well, you're welcome, wizard. You're kind of a strange guy, but okay. So, interesting. So we've got, that's the stairs. Oh, we can't go back that way, apparently. We can look around the library. There's nothing to see that I can see, but we can look at this book. All right, Junimo Hut. 20,200 stones, star fruits, and fiber. So when you put a Junimo Hut on your farm, they will harvest your produce. Yes, they do. These are the obelisks. There's earth. There's many different ones. Water. You can see how much they cost. They're like 500,000 gold. 1,000,000 gold for the desert one. And you can see that's going to be a while. And 10 million for a gold clock, which keeps debris from appearing on your farm. It keeps the fences from decaying. And so these are special things that we can build on our farm, and you come right here to do it. So I am so excited that we finally got to this point. Ah, yes, I've seen many things about your future. Oh, yeah? If I were to tell you, there would be grave consequences. Oh, boy. Thanks a lot for nothing. So that was a pretty big thing right there, because once we get our entire farm built out, if you want to see what it looks like with the Junimo huts, you can go back. I've talked about it before, to my review of Stardew Valley. It's got pictures. You can see what it looks like. So basically you build your crops around the Junimo hut, and with sprinklers, and those guys, basically you plant and leave it. You don't have to do anything, and they will harvest your crops for you. So it is a huge time saver. Plus it's kind of cute having them around the farm. You've seen them before in the community center. So it's pretty awesome that we can get some and have them right on the farm. So I'm very, very excited about that. Again, it takes a lot of money to build those things, all of those things, and those are things that we will have eventually. The clock is kind of the last thing I go for, because it cost 10 million. 10 million. That's a lot of gold. So 10 million for that. We'll get it event. I like to have it for a couple reasons. Oh, by the way, that chest, there's nothing else you can do with it other than pop it in your shipping bin, and we'll see how much we get for it. Oh, good. Look at this. So we've got a total of 16 that we can do this time. Yes, I do have 16 cranberries. So we are going to run around and fill them all up. And what I'm doing really quickly there is holding down my right mouse button. If you hold it long enough on a keg that's got the wines on it, it'll grab the wine, and then it will also refill it with whatever you have chosen to refill it with. So we are making really good progress towards the goals, and I'm just really thinking about 4:30 p.m. What do we need to do today? What is left to do today? And then I remembered that I had not checked some of the crops. So we've got some things ready. We need our Sith to be able to get whatever is here. And yes, Amaranth. Stupid train passing through Stardew Valley. How many times have you guys seen in the past 49 episodes, 49 and 3/4 episodes, have we gotten anything from that train? I don't know if it's a bug, which I hesitate to say, because this game just doesn't have hardly any bugs that I'm aware of. But this playthrough, I've had the worst luck up here. That did not happen in my 11 game years. When I would come up here, there'd be something. I don't remember there having situations where there was nothing. So it was kind of weird when that started happening, where there was nothing coming off this train. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what is the deal. I haven't figured it out. I don't know if it's just simply that I was lucky before or just unlucky now. My very first train that I ever saw that went through gave me 16 geodes, which when you're first starting out, that's huge. It was my first train. I ran up there. What the heck is that? I got 16 geodes. So I thought that that's the way it would always be. Well, apparently not, because I would have to go back and look. I have had way more non-drops than I've had drops since I started this playthrough with 49 episodes. I don't know what the heck is going on. I am unclear on that, on what's happening. So anyway, stop ranting about that. I'm really glad that we got some amaranth. One thing that I wanted to do is this, I've only got 6 days left in the season here. And if I can plant something to grow, then I will, no matter what it is, because everything can be used. I'm not going to plant huge fields of amaranth. Quite the contrary. I've got certain crops that I will plant. That takes 7 days, so I'm not going to plant it. I was testing it. How many days I can do bok choy, which I don't really need a whole lot of. Eggplant is a regrowable one. Strawberry, you get more multiple harvests too. So it's like, all right, what can I replace that with? And it looked like bok choy is the answer of all the things I'm seeing here. So it's okay. We'll plant some bok choy. It's the reason for that is I don't want to waste my grow time and my field space. I would rather get something planted, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm waiting the 10 seconds to get my extra seeds and go pop them in the field real quick, so that we got something growing. I love to have things growing through the end of the season if I can. And if you watch from beginning, you have to buy seeds from Pierre's. I'm becoming self-sufficient now. Because I'm starting to grow my own, or to process my own seeds. And that is a goal for me, is to become self-sufficient so I don't have to buy any seeds from Pierre's. So we've had to do this season. I don't know if we're going to have enough. I'm almost positive that we're not going to have enough by springtime. I wanted to double check. The missing bundle wanted gray starred wine, and that's one of the things that it wanted. You have to have 5 of those 6 things, and so anyway, I don't have gray starred wine because I don't think we can get gray starred wine yet, and that's okay. Look at this, like, what am I wandering around for? Yeah, I'm looking at that iridium sprinkler, because eventually we are going to plant, we're going to put that in our greenhouse. And I knew that I had enough. I have 1 bar already, but I don't want to mess up my order of the bars. So I had enough to make another one. And so I am going to make another iridium sprinkler. That's all the iridium ore that I have at this time. So eventually that will change, but for now, that's all we have. I only had 2 pieces left, so that's okay. We'll get more, guaranteed. We'll get more in a very interesting way. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Look what I did. Oh, I told myself I wouldn't do that, and I did it anyway. So we need, as you can see, yes, and that actually becomes a new achievement called Artisan. So I'm very excited that that happened, that we did that. And we've got 3, 4, 5. We have 5 ancient fruits currently. And so my whole idea and I started to talk about this earlier, is to have a greenhouse that has 3 sections with ancient fruit and 1 section of the star fruit. And so it's like, why did I not grab those to begin with? And I don't know the answer. So we're going to get started on that idea. It's a permanent planting too, because these don't go away and they stay where you planted them. So once you get the ancient fruit planted, they just keep producing in forever unless you cut the plant down. So I did a really dumb thing right there. I need five gold star ancient fruits for that weird bundle, and I went ahead and popped it in the seed maker. I was like, oh, why did I do that? It's okay. So we're going to go ahead and put this thing in here. Oh, I can't see anything. I can't wait till I can get lights made, and we will. So what I'm doing is kind of counting it off. I want to make sure, because it takes 24, it'll take 24 plants. So I want to make sure that I have the proper spacing so that I have it in the right place to have 24 plants. It's like, okay, I don't think that's right. So I'm thinking about it and looking at it. 1, 2, no, it needs to go down 1. There we go. I mean, you could always fix it, but if I'm going to plant them, I don't want to lose my plants that I plant. So as you can see, a regular sprinkler, you're going to get 8 around the sprinkler for a regular sprinkler. So when you've got the iridium one, you can do a whole nother row all the way around, and it turns out to be 24 spots. It's the best. I love it. So that's always a goal, to get to that point. It just takes time, because we don't have we just don't have the iridium. Oops, oopsie-doo. We don't have iridium ore yet. We have a little bit that we've gotten here and there, but nothing like what we need. So we'll get it eventually. I only have 8 seeds, and that's okay. I just wanted to go ahead and count all of that out, and I'm just kind of putting it around it, and there we go. No problem. They're started, and that's the main thing. Once you get them started, though, they start going, and then you'll get more and more and more. So it kind of goes from there. So we've done everything pretty much that we intended to do for the day. It's 12:40 p.m. That's going to be the end of our day, and it's going to be the end of our episode. Look at this. Should we have a baby, Rhiannon? What's the question? Sure. Why else would we not? Some people hate the babies. I love the babies. They're cute. I'll go with it. So anyway, this is going to be the end of the episode. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. It helps you to like me, and it lets me know that I'm doing something that you guys find valuable. The most important thing, thank you, Treasure Chest, is that you have a wonderful rest of your day.